gotta listen. It's a message. No, nobody. I don't want no fucking message in a song.
K-I-Wire.
But man, I want to get to this clip right here from the Broken Play podcast that went viral this week, where the host aggressively said how much they don't like smart raps. Mind you, this is a believe an Atlanta-based or at least a Southern-based podcast.
So I know the light-skinned dude. That's my personal trainer.
Oh, so
we're gonna talk about this tomorrow. I'm gonna charge him up about this tomorrow. I ain't gonna talk too crazy to him because he's not a small dude. He's in really good shape. That's Reggie Ball. He's he played for the Georgia Tech and had a couple of years in the NFL.
That's crazy. So Curtis, what I want to say is we all are entitled to our opinions.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on. Y'all have a good day. I get it. So I'm gonna play the clip. Well, the host is the one that's the most aggressive about it. The comedian that's on there, and he's like, he can't stand music with a message. Let's play the clip.
So, this clip was so. Let's play the clip. This clip.
I've never been in a party and they play some real New York like Rakim. They gonna play Pop That Coochie before they play New York. Yeah, I hope so. They'll play Let Me Ride That Donkey before they play. Yeah, I hope so. New Yorkers gotta learn to make music for people to party, not that junk. Not nobody want to be thinking.
I ain't no joke.
No, I'm glad you said that because that had pissed me off. That's how I feel about when I listen to Kendrick.
No. I'm telling you, you gotta listen. It's a message. No, nobody. Bitch, I don't want no fucking message in a song. When down south people started making good music, New York moved the goalpost. Well, y'all ain't saying nothing. Music wasn't meant to say nothing. Wop, baba, loo, bam, wop, bam, boom. Nobody, you supposed to just vibe to it. That's why Future is king. That's why he king, because he know how to make you do this.
Yeah.
Man, he ain't saying that. I know that's the beauty. That's the beauty. That's the
because I don't know what the hell was in.
It's how you say it. Music was invented in the South
hard.
Anyway. But I will say this. Jay-Z is my favorite rapper. But he knew how to go get Southern rappers and dumb it down too, though.
He had a bling.
You know he got to dumb it down. Yeah. Big pimpin', spinning. They're talking that shit. He talking about being with girls and shit. I don't want to hear all that KRS-One shit. You cross the bridge. You see, man, shut the fuck up. No damn bridge, nigga. We ain't got no bridge in Atlanta. New York was always stupid for thinking that they word means something. Like, they really think that Biggie is the best rapper. They really think New York niggas is the best rapper. They don't realize they only think that.
So you believe Jay-Z is a better rapper than Lil Wayne?
Easily.
That's my number one, Lil Wayne.
Easily.
I'm gonna tell you something, home. If you go back and listen to that goddamn Rolodex on both rappers.
This FD Signifier.
That's my trainer right there.
His life is passing before his eyes right now. Like, how do I want to approach this tape?
The thing that makes me happy is my boy Reggie, who is very much Southern, trainer type of dude. Right. Like I'm not gonna put no special degrees on Reggie. He a cool cat. He's a simple dude. Lil Wayne is a great choice.
Hey man.
He's the most, he says the least bullshit in this clip, and I'm so happy about that.
You say whatever you need to say, because we're not going to be in the gym with you tomorrow.
You're not going to be in the gym with me tomorrow. All right?
All right, it's like 10 more seconds, 20 more seconds on this, we're done.
Bro, Lil Wayne.
Wayne is that.
I got tip over Lil Wayne.
You crazy.
Damn, you hurting me.
Easily.
He number 2, though.
Easily.
Lil Wayne into it.
I ain't even finna argue like in debate that like song making.
You gotta go like bangers, like I mean, I guess.
If you go song for song, it's easy.
Ain't nobody got more than Lil Wayne, huh?
Well, so I got my thoughts. I it's funny because I was gonna do I was getting ready to do the most unk video you have ever seen in your life today. Oh, the shaking of the fist that I was going to do today. But then I'm glad instead we're having a conversation with FD about this, because the more I watch it, the more that I felt like I got baited into this blood boiling, right? It feels like very like, yo, before we do this video, how can we really get them pissed off and push this to this ultimate edge? What is your initial reaction?
So this is very much rage bait.
For sure.
This is high tier rage bait, which also means it's low tier rage bait, right? Because the dude said a couple of things I agree with. Mm-hmm. Black music is Southern inherently. It just is. All music, really, and all American music at least, is inherently Southern. He also said something else, which I agree with. Like, listen, at least here, I made this comment that there was some consternation around it when I talked about the fact that like I wasn't hearing Lupe Fiasco in the club when I was in college, when I was down here. It just did not hit the radios here. Now, that does not mean that Rakim won't set the party off in the East. What's that joint with Nas in New York City, New York City, like that shit was a banger. Uptown baby. It gets down so
right.
There is a ongoing thing in Atlanta, especially around hip hop and around music and like black culture, of just being really annoyed by like New York niggas.
This is another reason I was going to ask you that, because I was like, I know you got context. This feel like somebody put a pause on when it was Death Row versus Bad Boy, and then 3 Stacks came up inside. I just want to say the South got something to say. I feel like it was a pause, and then it was a play right when that video part started again. It was like, yeah, but we ain't forgot about nothing.
Listen, especially I was at HBCU, and I remember when I had to like. Thankfully, I was humble. I was just happy to be there. I was so in love with how many different types of black people I was around, and like a couple of girls from the West Coast, a couple of girls from the South, and like a couple of girls from the Northeast. Even though I was real Southern was my favorite. So like I wasn't about to disrespect their culture when I was there. Let me learn who is this? This is Magic, Pastor Troy. Okay, like so, but I have to say the New York niggas were very sure of themselves as the supreme beings and arbiters of black culture. Right. And that is a thing that has historically happened in Atlanta and elsewhere. I don't know how much of it's still relevant today, but that has been an energy that I've noticed around Atlanta, brothers in Atlanta, since I was like a teenager. I remember hearing that, right? So I think this is very much a response to that ongoing animosity. I can't speak too tough to like the validity, but I know that animosity exists.
Do you think that's why Kendrick got mentioned, because of that third verse on Not Like Us, or that fourth verse on Not Like Us?
I think Kendrick was mentioned because Kendrick has always, and so here's another thing. All right.
Come on, drop.
Here go my hottest take. Here go to what's gonna get me in drama.
Curtis, I was doing so good. I saw the steam on the green screen as soon as you said that. Go ahead.
Kendrick has always, and it's not just, Kendrick is an example of a type of black art that makes a certain type of nigga insecure. It's a type of black art, a type of black presentation, a type of black intellectualism that makes a certain type of nigga insecure. And
can you expand on that a little bit?
Anti-intellectualism. It's dudes that actually, ironically, do be kind of smart, but they have a frustration around the idea that other people value intelligence over whatever it is they got. And so they really, really, really go up for denigrating intellectual shit, nerdy shit, thoughtful shit. They always want to break stuff down to, man, real niggas don't da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, real niggas have been da-da-da-da-da since the beginning of time. So like, let's talk about the South's intellectual, thoughtful, meaningful, pro-black hip hop, like Outkast, like Big Crit, like even Lil Wayne every once in a while.
Rhapsody, like this is all Southern based.
But no, we got to be specific to the sounds that are reflective of the actual environment of the South. So like, so J. Cole and Rhapsody, yes, Lil Brother, North Carolina, right?
Brother, yeah.
But no, I do want to be clear that I am talking about some Pastor Troy songs. I am talking about one or two Lil Baby songs where not only does it sound exactly like that dirty South, whatever you may want to call it, sound, where it hits that same vibration that you love about it, but if you listen, you're gonna hear some real shit. And so it really is like wow to hear him when he said dumb it down. I'm like, dude, why you that's a self-report. You know what I mean?
Especially right now.
Right.
Because there's so many you just talked about eggs being the price that they are, the AIification of black culture, the digital blackface that's going on in that space, just all of the things that are going on right now. This is even if you do feel that way, this might not be the time to amplify that with a prize pick sponsor on your podcast. Like, it just looks crazy. Like, FD, have you seen this where it just seems like there are people in some of the OGs that you mentioned, not even just the OGs you mentioned, but the OGs in general, they just have an inability to read the room. Is that just from being so rich and disconnected?
I think so. I think so. So it's a couple things. So one, we got to reflect on what it even takes to get to that status in the first place. Let's talk. So the elephant in the room is Snoop Dogg, right?
That's one of them. That's one of them. Yeah.
That's one of them. So Snoop, I still got so much love for Snoop, still a legend, all those things. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point, you realize that any man that is doing that many commercials is probably lacking strong internal controls on his politics and morals and principles. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of people. I ain't gonna name too many other names just tonight because folks.
Shaq, I wish you would hit me in public.
I'm Timbo.
I'm gonna Drake both of them. I'm gonna Drake both of y'all. Go ahead and do something in public. I'm gonna Drake both of y'all. I talked all that about a lawsuit. That ain't got nothing to do with hip hop. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But yeah, because like I've been called out by a legend at this point, which is a whole other conversation. I don't want to get to that. He's also one of the main, again, people that say real shit in their hip hop from in Atlanta. But I'm gonna leave that alone because it
just came to me right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So once you become that money motivated and that indifferent to like what brings you money, it's only a matter of time for you say, all right, what's the most inflammatory thing I can say or do to bring attention to the thing?
Well, Pharrell just said something recently, right? With the
I didn't see that.
You just see that? Oh, okay, I'll see. I want you to finish your point. But Pharrell,
are you about to make me more sad about Pharrell now too? I'm sure he got his demons, but
I'm sorry because I just in the years that I've seen Pharrell publicly, I feel like he has been one of the most down to earth people in that celebrity position. But he said something about politics, and I was with him in the first half, and then when he landed with that. Brother, and mind you, he said this in a room full of black entrepreneurs, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go ahead and share this clip.
That'd be how it be, but
yeah,
folks get mad at me. Folks be telling me I'm too far left, and it's like y'all can't tell this a pattern with these niggas. And I ain't even against entrepreneurs,
right?
I'm not, and I want to be so clear. Let's look at my camera. I am not against money. I'm not against entrepreneurs. I'm not against folks trying to figure out how to feed themselves and grow businesses. I'm just against this bullshit. You know what it is.
Let me do this though. I want to show you this clip real quick. I don't want to influence no writing or nothing. But
I already see the caption.
If you look at what's going on in the current political climate, I'm just saying I want to turn anybody off. I hate politics. Like despise them. It's a magic trick that it's not real. I don't believe in either side. So I think when you pick a side, you are only, you are inadvertently supporting division. Yeah, it's not a popular point of view, but I just gotta say, like, think about it. The wells are drying up, and then now the diversity's off the table, now equity's off the table, now inclusion's off the table. So that makes me ask myself, okay, so how do we survive? Well, are there black people here tonight? Yeah. And in your heart, do you think for what it is that you do and who you are, do you think you're the best? Okay, so do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best? Do you want someone to support your startup because you're black or because you're the best? Right, so I think now for me, it's about us having the best ambition.
The crowd ain't even fully with them. You peep that? The crowd is like, for real, what the fuck you talking about right now?
The funniest thing to see in real time in these kind of events is when the crowd goes from excited to see you and I agree with everything until my senses kick back and they say, yeah, no, actually, no, I think you went too far on this one. It's so much to unpack. It's a little bit more at the end. Yeah.
Businesses, yes, they happen to be black and brown, but it should be based on the thesis that we're the best, not because we are a total shade of a skin color. That's a point of view that I have now that I'm resting on. And if diversity, equity, and inclusion ever comes back in style, cool. But in the meantime, I'm going to focus on being the best because I can bank on that. Because that's what's going to get you the position. Where, I don't want you to give me anything. I want you to panic and not let me out the room because I'm the best.
I'll say this. I saw this clip and I said, I'm sure you know what, FD? I said, damn, that might make the clips a shoe-in for that rap album of the year right there, baby. Coming home, baby. It's coming home. He made the sacrifice. He said some wild shit. He's like, it's coming home now.
Yeah. He's like, I got to make sure my boys get their due. So so pull yourself by the bootstraps up, black people, black entrepreneurs. Be the best, and you won't have to worry about racism.
DEI. What do you need that for? Everybody's responsible here at the top, all right? You just got to make sure that you're the best, and then you'll show up, and people will make responsible decisions about who to hire.
Right. Oh, man. and so let's extrapolate that from the previous clip, right?
Sure.
So because it's the same problem with two different entry points. The previous clip, we got a little bit of background with the anti-New York animosity that's here in Atlanta, which I understand to an extent. I don't know about it for real. I understand it. I know it's real. Then we got them just being hyperbolic because they're podcasting, and that's the podcast game, right? And then there's a comfort level and a inclination towards anti-intellectualism, and that has there's a lot of that as well. Just the depth on that I can't even get into with the time we got left, right? But bottom line is we're still talking structural, right? We're still talking about, we got to make sure our numbers are our numbers so that our what was it? Prize picks check is what it needs to be.
Over and unders, you know what I'm saying?
Right. We gotta make sure that
who cares who the mob is involved with and getting arrested? We got to focus on these things.
We got to focus. We got to feed our family, right?
Got to feed my family, bro.
So I actually have way more grace for them, than what Pharrell just did.
Yeah, that's violent. That was violent.
Yeah, and that's basically what it is. That's a good word. Because what they did is, tantrum, what I'm saying? Like, we potting. It gives us something to talk about, but it spreads harmful ideas to an extent, but it has so little power behind it that I don't have a lot of thought for it. Mm-hmm. Pharrell is already a super powerful figure behind the scenes.
Yes,
so this indicates how he moves and has moved. And it brings me back to criticism I had of him with Khalees and how he signed Khalees when she was like 17 to a fucked up ass deal. And that's why she a farmer now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then he's saying that in rooms with other people who aspire to have power in among Black people who aspire to that entrepreneurial class. And they're still incentivized by the same system to give us that, bullshit Booker T. Washington, pull your pail up, lay your pail down where you sit. Mm-hmm. Booker T is I'm reading a book, and I'm always had smoke for Booker T. Washington, who's also a favorite of He Who Shall Not Be Named, rap legend, right? But if you go and you study the fullness of Booker T's legacy, although I won't put him at anti-Black, he did that. That is literally something he would have said to W.E.B. Du Bois in 1910. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same type of shit.
I didn't know he was on that timing. I did not know that.
Oh, Booker T was definitely on it. That's why there was beef between him and W.E.B. Du Bois. You know what I'm saying? And among other people. And that's kind of the thing, though, to bring it full circle, is that structurally speaking, the money is always not spent. Like, we never the money move. The money move is never the Black audience. It's always the Black. You feel me? It's the Black aesthetic. It's the Black art. It's the Black vibration, the Black wave. But it's never actually the Black people. And so once you got a piece of that Black, whatever it is, and you can parlay that to a corporation, to Happy Dad beer or Prize Picks or whatever, you liable to do all kinds of bullshit to get to the money. Yeah. And as long as they have that power, and we don't find a way to break that framework, or we can't collectively protect and project our own shit. Again, shout out to one of my mentors, Diallo. He was like, when Kanye was doing all that nonsense, and then he said something about Jewish people, and finally something started to happen to him. He finally started to lose contracts. He finally started to lose status. And Black people came back like, when he was saying all that stuff about us or about women, nothing happened. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But do we expect these other communities to advocate on our behalf? Or should that be something we collectively do for ourselves at this point? And that's kind of like where I'm at with it, is that we have to, get a little more organized, a little more on code, so that when a Pharrell comes out and says something like that, or when a Big Extra Plug says something like that we tap them pockets. You know what I'm saying? That we call, because that's what it comes down to. Like, please believe Kanye's anti-Semitism, these corporations do not care about. They do not care about anti-Semitism. They do not care that he was running around with white supremacists. They care that was going to cost them money. And the same thing with all these other figures that have transgressed against Black people, against hip hop, against Jewish people, against women, whomever. When it costs them money is when there's consequences. And I disagree with you, Chris, man. We do have the power to make them accountable. We just have to work harder to get organized to do that thing. But when somebody trends on Twitter to the point where they lose money because of Black Twitter, that's us holding someone accountable. It's a little sloppy, it's a little chaotic, but it means something. People lose jobs, people lose checks.
We about to see what Black Friday about to look like, because there's a conversations about a shutdown and not spending money because of how things played out. Like and look at Target. Target just brought back the DEI program because of how they've not been able to recover from the bad press and losing all the money that they lost in the process.
And they held out all year.
All year.
Shout out to Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, my hometown, kinda. And he's talking about a general strike. You know what I'm saying? And we don't, and then shout out again to what I mentioned earlier, CJ the leftist, because I be having, I be going back and forth with my more radical folks who feel like I spend too much time in moderate and pop culture spaces, but I be like, where this were the people at? But they also said something that I think we do need to realize is that we don't need all the people. We just need a decent amount of well organized people.
Hello.
And like when that happens, things can happen. Like imagine if who we talked Snoop Dogg earlier, right? If Snoop Dogg's next commercial was for a product that Black people all decided at once that we was gonna shit on in public, not literally visually, but like next time he says something about, I don't know, Prize Picks, fuck Prize Picks, all my homies hate Prize Picks, was trending on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? That might that might lose a check for Snoop, and maybe he gets back on code. So like we all can't do that easily. There's ways to make it happen. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to shame nobody who's not active. I also want to be clear on that. Like being active and being political and doing all those things, it comes with a price. I made a comment in my last video about how Nina Simone, another example of Black artists who rode for the people, who wasn't just singing and dancing, she also died poor, right? So we are talking about a risk management assessment for everybody that's got a microphone and skin in the game. But the thing, a shout out to another mentor, Dr. Jared Ball, taught me recently, is whenever we have a conversation about like why doesn't the art reflect the struggle anymore, et cetera, like it did in the 60s, is recognizing that in the 60s, the people were on one accord, that we were actually in a struggle, right? And because we were on one accord, that we were actually in a struggle, we demanded it from our artists. You couldn't get us to come through and support you if you didn't show that you was with the movement on some level. So even someone who wasn't with it, like a James Brown, had to eventually make "I'm Black and I'm Proud." Because folks was like, "James, where you at?"
Okay, I do it. Here. Here goes
say it loud.
Yeah, say it loud.
What you said?
DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Don't be greedy. Peace.